A very good day and a warm welcome once again to yet another YouTube video link on our topic of events. Today we shall be discussing about organizing events. A bit about myself, Sheetal Gupta, an assistant professor at the AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology based in Pune. My email address is mentioned here. For any further queries, kindly do not hesitate to contact me, and I shall be ready to revert back to all of you. So let us now begin on our topic of organizing events. When we speak about organizing the event, it will be subcategorized into 3 points. First, the pre-event, which entitles establishing the event committee, having a timeline schedule, making of budgets, and crisis and backup plans. Number 2 would be during the event, actual crowd management, managing the media, and of course, risk management that could involve natural risks, financial risks, as well as legal risks. And thirdly, post the event, where we have closing of accounts and obtaining the customer and guest feedbacks. Number 1, the pre-event. At the foundation of the very event, the pre-event planning is one of the most crucial stages, as everything you do or don't do at this early point impacts the execution and the attendee experience on that day. Therefore, meticulous planning is essential to ensure that everything glows like tick-tock clockwork from start to the end, and that people turn up for your event and enjoy themselves. First, start by outlining the key objectives for the event and, of course, a budget, as well as your target audience and a consistent brand message. Having a sound understanding of what you want to gain from your event, who you want to address it to, and who you are as a business will allow you to build a more effective marketing and planning strategy to obtain your goals and your attendees' satisfactions. You can then build on this information to create a detailed plan of action, leaving nothing to chance and planning the day-to-day activities to identify the right platforms to promote your event, to drum up registrations, and obtain the core objectives. In addition to the logistical planning, savvy event organizers will always be a step ahead, thinking of every eventuality. Even the most well-planned event can fall foul of extenuating circumstances like inclement weather, a guest speaker putting off at the last minute, or even technical problems on the day. So it always pays to have a backup plan or a plan B or a standby for all areas of your event. Establishing the event committee. The phrase that says 2 heads are better than 1 first appeared in the year 1546 and has stuck around for more than 500 years. And it is safe to say it applies to building your dream event planning team. In more modern teams, we must say that teamwork makes the dream work. No matter if they're old and timeless or modern and cheesy, the sentiment of these sayings is true. A great team definitely makes all the difference. This is especially true when planning an event. It's almost impossible for a single person to pull off an event on their own. You need a team you can trust. However, we've all experienced working with teams that weren't so great. It is impossible to put together an event on your own. Even if you had the bandwidth for everything, which you likely don't, there's also the huge variety of skill sets required. You cannot be possibly in multiple places at once. Skimping on event planners means the event will skimp in other ways. It's simply impossible to have one person take care of the VIPs, welcome all the guests, and coordinate the food and activities at the same time. That is why delegating to a team, one who's in charge of welcome address, one who's in charge of taking care of the VIP attendees, one who's in charge of the food and beverage activities for the day, will ensure that everyone's duties and responsibilities are well delegated. Having a strong team also helps with proper problem solving. Each person brings his own unique perspective to creative solutions. Great teams don't just happen. It takes work and effort to build the right combination of skills and personal mindsets that fit all approach. What works for one event might not work for another event. The key is to understand the scope of the event and put the right people in the right place who can achieve the results. Although the actual layout of each event varies, the basic requirements don't. Here's an ultimate guide to organizing your event planning dream. No matter the size or type of event, sticking with these basics can help you create the perfect planning team. Thirdly, the post-event. As the last of your guests heads out the door, it is a natural assumption to think that the hard work is over. But the post-event period also requires some diligent attention. If you want to maximize the experience of the vendors and the attendees. In the first instance, ask for feedback from the exhibitors and suppliers to find out any aspect of the event that they thought went well or that they would have liked to have gone better. This way, you can use this valuable information when it comes to preparing for the future. As the dust settles in, the days after the event, don't let the lines of communication with your audience go cold. While you're still fresh in their minds, use social media to post pictures, videos, and exclusive content from the event that people could like and share. Tap into the data collected from the event to send up follow-up email newsletters and surveys. Use these to demonstrate that you still have an interest in them. This is also a great way to not only gather data that could help you to improve event experiences further down the line, but also help you to fill in the blanks wherever you might have fallen through. Regardless of the type of event you're hosting, paying close attention to the before, during, and after event is the key to ensuring that the event runs seamlessly and the event goers are left happy. With this eye on the full picture, we hope that these tips bring you closer to hosting the perfect event that everyone will love and remember in the times to come. Now, I will show you a beautiful video on event organizing and some tips that you need to bear in mind while organizing your events. Kindly pay attention to this interesting video and try and imbibe these tips while organizing your event. Let's watch this interesting video now.
It's time we back it on up and take it from the top on these 5 event management tips for beginners. Welcome to the Elevate Experiences YouTube channel, where we share tips and best practices for your next event. These 5 tips are must-knows in the event management industry. and they're principles that can turn an otherwise stale event into a remarkable experience. Now be sure to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date as we share even more tips for you as you dive into the event planning process. Let's get started with tip number 1, confirm the guest list first. Many times people try to choose a location for an event and then they're stressed down the road when realizing the location didn't fit the number of people that you had coming to your event. Instead, when planning, make sure you have your guest list beforehand, and that will determine the size of the event, not the other way around. So aside from weddings, the location shouldn't determine the guest list, but instead, the guest list should help decide the location. Once you know the number of people you'll have in attendance, you can move on to additional details of your event. This will help you avoid unnecessary stress later. Trust me, I know. Now, tip number 2 is to nail down the location before setting a date. Again, many times people make the mistake of setting a date and then limiting themselves on the number of available locations. Most likely, your client can be a little flexible when setting that date. Now, if you know the general time frame they prefer, you can find the best locations for your event and then set the date based on the venue's availability. Asking your client for flexibility in the date can open up more venue options and allow you to choose a dream location rather than getting stuck with a mediocre venue. In fact, have you ever planned or attended an event that seemed like the perfect location? Drop a comment below and tell us about it. I'd love to hear about this incredible venue, this incredible thing you had going on, and I'm sure other event planners and managers would love to hear from you as well. All right, tip number 3 is to set the level of formality and make this known to everyone involved. Not only do you need to choose a date and time, but you want to make sure it's clear just how formal or informal your event will be. This can depend on the location, the time of day, the client's preference. Whatever level of formality is chosen, make it clear to your vendors, clients, guests, and key players. You don't want servers showing up to a cocktail party in jeans because they were unaware of the fanciness. You also don't want your client thinking they're paying for a black tie affair if you're planning to serve hot dogs. So when it comes to the level of formality of your event, you want to listen to your client's expectations, plan accordingly, and make sure everyone involved, it's super, super clear. These last 2 are ways you can really take your event and go above and beyond. All right, so tip number 4, brainstorm ways to make every event unique. Create a work of art, if you will, with your event. So choose vendors, food, activities, and decor that your guests will most likely say, I've never even seen that before. Can you do something unique with your food? Can your caterer, can they have a gourmet popcorn bar or a build your own emoji donut station? Is there a theme that no one would expect? And can you bring that in a fun and exciting way? Is there a local restaurant that might have a secret menu item that most people haven't tried? A lot of really fun ways to bring this to life. Can you brainstorm creative ways to avoid a cookie cutter experience? Don't be afraid to think outside of the box. Take a bold move towards something unique and memorable for your client and for your guests. So this 5th and final tip is to make it engaging. Create an experience, something fun, something folks will talk about later. Engage your guests during an event in a way that they will come away being a better human. Create a remarkable experience. This is something many event managers, they really just don't take the time to incorporate into their event because of time or resources, but I can't say it enough. This is something that can literally make or break your guest experience. This is the biggest tip I can give you, and it's the one we see play out time after time in such a fantastic way here at Elevate. Crowd engagement far outweighs the food, music, decor of any event, and it's the main thing that will leave your guests remarking about their experience. Engaging the guests is one of my absolute favorite elements of any event. And as a gift for you today, I've got a free resource to help you really nail crowd engagement at your next event. You can download this resource using the link in the description, and you'll be on your way to your most exciting event yet. All right, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the thumbs up and let me know you're excited about these 5 event management tips for beginners. Thanks for joining, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on event planning tips and tricks.
Well, I do hope that short but interesting video clarified all the doubts in your mind in organizing of events. I end my presentation here by issuing a vote of thanks for your kind attention and time in watching this YouTube video. A bit mention about the reference books I have used. Event Management for Tourism, Cultural, Business and Sporting Events by Lynn van der Bergen. Event Management by R.K. Singh and Event Management by Sita Ram Singh. Also, for the AISSMS College of Hotel Management students, there will be a quiz link at the end of the video in the description box. Kindly do attempt the quiz link in the description box for the AISSMS students. Thank you once again. Stay safe and have a great day.